What is going on, guys? This is the Inside the Blue podcast, episode number 20, and tonight we're breaking down the Rangers' unfortunate Game 7 loss to the New Jersey Devils, 4-0. The Rangers get blanked for the second time to Akira Schmid. Props to him. He had a great series. I mean, the Rangers didn't test him much at all. They made his series very easy, you know. There was nothing that, Schmidt had to do that was really tough. He made a few really good saves in the series, but for the most part, no one was, screening him, and his night was very easy in all of the games, I mean, yeah, you gave it to him in Game 6, but that was about it. Nothing else. I mean, I would have, liked, scoring 5 goals in Game 6, having a great night, and building off of that to go into Game 7. But nope, not at all. I mean, I don't know what the hell happened after Game 6 with this team. There should be, something has to happen. I don't know how you go into Game 7 and show up like that. Can somebody tell me? Am I saying something wrong? Like, you go into Game 7, you know it's a do-or-die game, and you know your season's on the line, and that's how you show up? It was like they were given a paper, a script from the NHL to tell you, don't show up at all and be disappointing. I mean, all night, Ray Ferraro and, Sean McDonough were roasting the Rangers. And, I mean, they, well-deserved. Rangers deserved that. There was nothing that the Rangers did good. They were going to the zone. 2 seconds later, the puck's out of their zone. They couldn't set up at all. And props to the Devils. They made adjustments. Rangers did not. They thought, game 1 and game 2, quick 10 goals, and after that, brutal. They were 4 for 7 in those 2 games. After that, the power play, I think, went 1 for 20. And even in Game 7, the Devils gave you like 3 or 4 power plays, and you didn't do anything on them. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was embarrassing to watch. As a fan, I didn't get much sleep, honestly, after it, because I was heartbroken, man. This team had so much talent, and they just didn't show it. And I mean, that just shows hard work over talent. I mean, that's all that says. You could have all the talent in the world, and that's what the Rangers had, but they lose in the first round. The only person who was, working hard was Igor Shesterkin. That was it. Other than that, nobody was working hard. They were just getting beat to every loose puck, and it was just embarrassing to watch. I mean, embarrassing is honestly like an understatement. This was just brutal for the Rangers, and I mean, I don't know what, was said in between periods, but clearly it didn't work. Was it like just go out there and play? No, you have to make adjustments. Especially in a do-or-die game. You have to take risks. Lindy Ruff took a risk and threw in Akira Schmid, a guy that had no playoff experience at all. And look at him. He, practically won them that series. He played amazing. The Rangers, nope. They thought, let's keep the lines the same. They made like 1 or 2 adjustments during that Game 7, and they didn't work. Do I blame this series on Gerard Gallant? Partially, for sure. I think it's, it's like 50-50. 50 on the players and 50 on Gallant. Because Gallant didn't do anything to respond, Lindy Ruff made a few adjustments, and it worked. I mean, the Rangers got outcoached, outworked, out-hustled, just everything. They got outworked and everything, And there was a point in the time in Game 7, slot shots in the slot, was 11-1 New Jersey. And the Rangers practically had no good chances at all on Akira Schmid. They had that nice chance start of the game, maybe 10 seconds in, Zibanejad and Kreider, but they decided to pass. Why? Zibanejad has an amazing shot. Okay? And to be honest, why not shoot? What's the worst that can happen? It rims around the boards? Alright, then get back. But no, we pass it, it goes the other way. And another thing is you allow a shorthanded goal. That should never happen, especially in a Game 7. Why is that happening in a Game 7 is beyond. I mean, there should be no reason that ever happens. But the team really pissed me off. With everything. Top players not showing up. Panarin. Where the hell did he go? You know? Dude has 2 points in Game 1. Just goes ghost the rest of the playoffs. I mean, Patrick Kane turning the puck over all the time. His style of play clearly didn't match the Rangers. And cool, it was nice to get Patrick Kane, but he didn't do much. You know? He had a few shifty plays, and that was it. He didn't do much. I mean, yeah, he had a nice goal in one of the games on Vanacek, but another thing is, Vanacek sucked. I said that at the start of the series, Vanacek is not good. Okay? He was not that good. And you blew him out. And then when you play Akira Schmid, everything changed. You weren't screening the goalie. You know, you weren't looking for deflections. You were missing the net too much. Careless plays, being too what's the word? I mean, you were being too, cute with the puck. Just shoot the puck and work hard. I mean, once the Rangers let the Devils do whatever they wanted, that's when the game ended. Once the Devils were just flying around, letting Jack Hughes do whatever he wants, that's when the series ended. That's when Game 7 ended, and I accepted that. Okay? Did I think they were going to come back? I wish. I wish they would have shown a better effort, man. The effort was not there at all, and that's really what just made me mad. The effort, it's Game 7. Your season's on the line, and that's how you show up. I mean, what happened? What happened in between periods that you were like, alright, what's next? It was like they were looking at the offseason the entire time. And apparently, rumors are having it that Gerard Gallant's job is up in air. There's a decent chance Gerard Gallant might not be on the bench next year. That'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because the coach didn't make any adjustments. He did not do anything. He did not do anything that would help them. He didn't take a risk. He didn't do this or that. Didn't change up the power play at all. It was just so hard to watch. And it's just embarrassing. And in my opinion, the year the Rangers lost the Eastern Conference Final was your best year to win. Everyone was having career years. That was your best chance to win. And this year was another good chance to win. A few career highs from a few players. Filipino, Keandre Miller. Keandre Miller was brutal. Towards the second half of the season until the end. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he suffered an injury and he was playing through it. I don't know what happened to him. Because last playoffs, Keandre Miller was buzzing. All around the ice, using his stick well, creating plays, creating scoring chances. But nope. This year, he couldn't even control the puck. The puck was just jumping over his stick. And, maybe that's a part of bad luck. The ice. Who knows? But it was really hard to watch Keandre Miller in that playoffs. And I don't know really the offseason plan. I really don't know what this team is going to look like next year. You're really cap crunched right now. Are you going to re-sign Kane? Are you going to re-sign Tarasenko? what is going on with Panarin. Like, what are you going to do? Like, what is going to happen? You have to re-sign Keandre Miller, obviously, to a contract, and who knows how much they're going to pay him. Who knows? Is it going to be north of, $6 million, or is it going to be, maybe $4 million, or, $5.5 million? Like, what is it going to be for Keandre Miller? Because this year showed he's not worthy of an extension. Like, an extent. Obviously, he deserves to be extended, but he doesn't deserve big money, in my opinion. Maybe he'll prove me wrong. I hope he does, because I feel like every time I talk trash about someone, they start to prove it. There was just so many players that just didn't show up. Vinny Trocheck, he had a few decent shifts, but the offensive production wasn't there. Adam Fox, I mean, yeah, he had a few good games, but other games, it was like, what was he doing? He was playing like when they lost Ryan Lindgren. When they lost Ryan Lindgren, Adam Fox was clueless on the ice. The guy was clueless. Jacob Trouba was bad. Like, there was just so much bad in that Devils series, and I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't know. Even if you did somehow sneak a win against the Devils, I don't even know if you're gonna beat Carolina. I mean, Carolina is an interesting team. They're very defensive and they don't score much. They really rely on their defense and their goaltending. And, Freddie Anderson had a really good game against the New York Islanders. He only allowed one goal, and I think he made like 30-something saves. So I don't even know if you would have advanced to the Eastern Conference Final. And I think the Devils have a really good shot at honestly making the Cup. I think they can beat Carolina, and it'll be interesting if they can beat the Leafs or the Panthers. It's going to be really interesting. This offseason is going to be interesting with what Chris Drury does. Whether he fires Gallant, whether he keeps him around another year. But I feel like there's just some players on this team that are just tired of Gallant, and I think that's that's Artem Panarin. When Panarin was stress free, he was really good. But when he's just stressed and everything, he's bad. And he doesn't try, and he just looks like he just doesn't want to be there. And I think that's just what happened this year. I think he got thrown to the third line in the playoffs. Like, I don't even know. There was just it was just bad. I mean, I can go on and on and on with what happened with the New York Rangers last night, but it's really sad. It's sad how this season ended so quickly, and we thought we were going to go to the Cup because we had all this talent, and clearly talent doesn't bring you so far if you have lazy players. Kane was lazy, Panarin was lazy, everybody was lazy. There was not a single player besides Igor Shesterkin, and you could argue Chris Kreider, that played well. Kreider scored most of your goals in the power play. And Igor Shesterkin played really good. And he deserves an apology from the team. And I don't know. I really just, I don't know what to do with this Rangers team. I don't really know what the path is now, because you're going to be losing a decent amount of players because you don't have money to re-sign everybody. I don't know the future with Barclay Goodrow. Apparently he might get traded. But it's going to be a long off season. I'm definitely, interested in what's going on. The future with Gerard Gallant, the future with the New York Rangers, but I'm embarrassed. I'm sad with how this ended. And, hopefully we can turn it around next year. And I don't know what it's going to take, what players you're going to have to bring in, because clearly this group, was not motivated as last year. Last year's team, they didn't give up. This team gave up. Last year, Game 7 against Carolina, you won that. Game 7 against Pittsburgh, you won that. It's just really unfortunate to see the team go out like this that just had so much talent. Just everything that happened that night was horrible. I couldn't sleep at all. I stared at the ceiling for just so long. And that's what happens when your expectations are to win the cup and you lose in the first round. It's been tough, man. Rangers have not made the Stanley Cup since 2014. And I don't really have much else to say, but I'm really pissed off with what happened. Team's not prepared, and that's what happens when you're not prepared. Devils were prepared. They outworked you. Rangers need to get faster. I really need to see a leap out of Lafreniere. Because I think out of those, that kid line, I think he's the one that's producing a lot, the least. But as always, it's been Vin breaking down the New York Rangers tonight. Game 7, unfortunate loss. The Rangers season is over. And now we pretty much focus on the New York Yankees. And that's really it. This has been Vin, Inside the Booth Podcast, episode number 20. So long, guys.